As one of the largest academic medical centers in the U.S., Cedars-Sinai is at the pinnacle of healthcare. Over 16,000 people, collaborators, innovators, and problem solvers, work daily to improve the care of over 1 million patients each year.
Cedars-Sinai has a long history of innovation in the science and practice of medicine, as well as the delivery of healthcare services.
Cedars-Sinai laboratories and clinics sprout ideas, therapies, and devices that improve human health worldwide.
In the last 5 years, we have developed over 100 new technologies that have run the gamut from new diagnostics to medical devices to therapeutics and beyond.
Since planting its roots in 1902, Cedars-Sinai has been at the forefront of medical advancement. Now, it's leading the charge in digital health and technology, striving to accelerate the development and impact of innovative healthcare solutions. And that's the impetus behind the Cedars-Sinai Accelerator.
What is magical about the Accelerator program is the energy that you get going into a room where people are trying to make the world a better place.
It's great to see these really hungry new companies who have these fantastic and innovative ideas about how they might be able to change the world and be able to nurture them and help them develop their products.
The Accelerator program has provided dozens of health tech companies access and mentorship to the world's leading physicians and researchers.
Being able to have access to an entire ecosystem, I think, is absolutely invaluable to these companies in a way that they just wouldn't get outside of an environment such as Cedars-Sinai.
Taking the problem that we've identified and then being able to find a company that's working towards solving that problem is so exciting. Really, these companies that come forward are on the leading edge of healthcare.
Happy to say, to talk about just how fun it is for us as healthcare administrators to be able to brainstorm ideas with the accelerators and really kind of see some of those ideas through the pilot programs be put into action and used.
Technologies developed within the Accelerator program are now real-life solutions, directly benefiting Cedars-Sinai patients, medical staff, and people all around the globe.
There's so many people that benefit from the Accelerator program. The patients that we serve, the physicians and clinicians that deliver.
It really benefits a big, larger, broader organization and audience and our community at large.
Since the launch of the Accelerator program, our companies have contracted with thousands of hospitals and clinics to improve care for millions of patients every year. Collectively, they have raised over $500 million in investment and funding.
Tapping into the emergence of technology that really didn't exist before, and it's really opened up entirely new vistas and avenues for creativity and for advancing the state-of-the-art in healthcare.
Cedars-Sinai is proud to work and grow with companies in the Accelerator program as they continue to inspire and lead the future of healthcare.
So, I'm so glad you guys found it all the way up on the nook on the 3rd floor. Thank you so much for coming. Good afternoon. My name is Jim Lohr. I'm the Vice President for Intellectual Property. And more importantly, I'm the Managing Director of our venture activities, the gem of which is the Accelerator program. And I'm really proud to be here with the Class 9 founders who are going to showcase not only their companies, but their technologies that are really helping us as providers do a better job of delivering care. And all of you in the healthcare space already know, but healthcare is complicated. It is something that people want more of, but don't want to pay more for. So we're really looking for ways to deliver care in a more efficient and in a cost-effective manner. And our only hope is to partner with early stage technology companies because they have the tools and the vision to be able to help us with those essential elements of what we want to do as healthcare providers in the 21st century. So what I really think is the best thing about the accelerator companies is they help us deliver care to our patients and the community that we serve. So it's, the true meaning of partnership. So you must be wondering, well, how long have we been doing this? Well, 2016 we started, so 7 years ago. And since that time, we have brought in 80 companies who have helped us on this journey. One of the best things about the program is discovering and embracing the fact that healthcare is global. Healthcare is a challenge everywhere. So we look for the best companies from around the world. We really feel that healthcare, there's no boundaries to the needs of the healthcare industry, and hospitals are natural sharers of knowledge. So looking across the borders has really been a nice aspect of this. And, one of the elements that you heard mentioned in the video is, they share the mission of trying to make the world a better place and to bring healthier people live healthier lives. So that's enough from me. I'm just here to welcome you all. And now we can get to the good stuff. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Thank you again. Sit back and enjoy.
Hi, my name is Atandra Berman, founder and CEO of RCE, a heart attack diagnostics company I started back in 2018 after I lost my dad to a heart attack, a silent heart attack, and that too a second one in nature. Imagine that if that happened to someone you loved. It's soul crushing. 200,000 such people each year in the United States succumb to silent heart attacks. What if we had a way to monitor the underlying changes in the heart? What if we had a way to actually track those changes and detect a catastrophic event minutes, in fact, hours before it happened? Imagine that world. But before we get there, let's look at the problem closer. 10 million chest pain patients show up to emergency departments all around the country, except 83%, most of these people are non-cardiac. They have something like anxiety, acid reflux, pulled a rib, and they are taking precious resources from healthcare. They are in there for over 5 hours before they even know if they have a heart attack or not. Imagine that. And that takes away precious resources from those 17% of cardiac patients who truly needed care. And this leads to delayed diagnosis and suboptimal outcomes. And this happens because you have to run a battery of tests, a series of blood-based measurements that keep them for 5 to 6 hours. RCE has reimagined the way we can now look at cardiac biomarkers. Infrasensor, a non-invasive technology that can report the same information in 3 minutes. This is non-invasive and it uses infrared technology. The best part is that you can now continuously trend biomarkers that cannot be done anywhere else. The technology works this way. Once you're bedside, the device is placed next to the patient's wrist is guided onto the sensor surface, and the device is secured with a wrist strap. The device is left on for 3 minutes. During this time, we collect an infrared spectral scan, and that tells us the acute cardiac biomarkers, a composite of these biomarkers which tells us, do they have a heart attack or not? 3 minutes, not 5 hours. The technology has been validated through a series of scientific and clinical efforts, starting with translational research, which was done back in 2018 and 2019, where we demonstrated correlation with cardiac troponin I. This is a heart-specific biomarker used to diagnose heart attacks. We then tested the early feasibility of this in a multi-centric trial at 5 hospitals, 239 patients, where we demonstrated strong discrimination between elevated troponins and normal troponins. And not just that, we demonstrated a very strong phenotypic correlation with anatomic and functional units, features of the heart. We then went further in a 900-patient trial which just concluded. The first 455 again demonstrated strong correlation and discrimination between elevated troponin patients and normal healthy people, which brings us to the true value of this device. This is a throughput optimization tool in every emergency department. Now we have a technology that can rule out high volume of the low acuity patients. These patients bring in low reimbursements and fast-tracking those high acuity patients that truly need care. Now, a quicker bed turnover definitely drives a quicker flow through the hospital and brings in higher reimbursement pull-throughs in a better capacity hospital, and this is huge. Not just that, now this technology can move upstream, not only in the triage and emergency departments, but upstream into ambulances, urgent cares, outpatient cardiology clinics, even the local pharmacy. Imagine access of this technology to those people at home like my dad. Not only that, once you get diagnosed, once you're seen, you can now see the continuous trending of biomarkers in the hospital. After a procedure, you can follow them home. You can look at them in a chronic setting like a nursing home, or again, back to the home where people like my dad are waiting and they don't know what's going to happen. Along the way, we're building a very unique data set where we are collecting an infrared spectral scan, continuous longitudinal trends of these, along with very unique structured and unstructured clinical data, demographics, drug information, and this coupled with artificial intelligence is building deep infraomics platform, which is the foundation model layer in providing valuable insights, disease phenotyping, drug discovery for payers, providers, healthcare systems. And this allows us to now have a diverse pipeline of revenue generating opportunities, starting with tropsensolot in the emergency department, followed by chronic settings, and also elevating the value of this platform. We are creating the next generation of our technology and a significant exit horizon for our investors. Now, this would not be possible if we did not have a world-class team, a relentless team of cardiologists, emergency department doctors, and commercial executives who have brought technology successfully to patient impact. And I very much thank you for listening to RCE's story. I'm very eager to listen to you and talk to you after the show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Jean-Simon Fortin, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Paperplane Therapeutics. We make therapeutic virtual reality for pain and anxiety management in healthcare settings, and our specialty is pediatrics. It really started with a problem I had in my own practice as an emergency physician, pain and anxiety that nearly every patient faces. Our options, often limited to harmful drugs or simply powering through. We are told to use non-pharma approach, but that's easier said than done. They're hard to come by and harder to implement. This is where virtual reality steps in, bridging the gap between effective drug-free approach and accessibility. It is well documented in the literature that brain activity associated with pain is reduced when using VR. Our 2014 prototype significantly reduced pain and anxiety for patients, offering a transformative care experience. We conducted multiple clinical trials that demonstrated significant reduction in pain, anxiety, and memory of pain. Patient, family members, and staff were highly satisfied, and the procedures were shorter and easier to perform. We got our Health Canada approval in November 2021 and deployed to more than 50,000 children during the COVID vaccination campaign. We are currently seeking FDA approval as well. The success of our technology lies in both the delivery mechanism and the active ingredient. We offer a fully standalone solution that you can set up and start in less than 60 seconds without reliance on hospital IT system. Our highly engaging therapies use real-time data to adjust to every patient and does not create any cyber sickness or interfere with ongoing medical care. Dream, our flagship product for pain and anxiety management during medical procedures for children 5-year-old and up. We have a basic version that allows interactions with limited head motion, and one specifically designed for dental procedures, as well as other medical procedures performed in supine or prone position. Imagine a preparation and simulation in virtual reality prior to an MRI. We educate the patient on what to expect and what to do, and we end it with a simulation where we track patient ability to remain still, follow instruction, and assess if they really need sedation to go through or if they can do it without, further improving patient experience, reducing resource utilization, and improving throughput. Inspire, a sensor-guided deep breathing exercise to reduce pain and anxiety in teenagers and adults. The indications that we are currently working on are oncology and mental health. We are adding breathing data, heart rate, as well as eye tracking data to further enhance this therapy. We offer a simple B2B SaaS with annual license that includes software, hardware, training, and tech support. Our beachhead market are large pediatric hospitals where we conduct clinical trials, pilot projects, and work with KOLs. We started selling into dental clinics through direct sales and also partnering with Benco and Allure Orthodontics as distributors to go after this market. With hospitals and dental clinics, our total addressable market is north of $1.5 billion. We currently have 5 great pilots in the US with renowned hospitals, with 2 converting to clients, and we have 5 clients in Canada with many more to come. We stand out by offering clinically validated, highly interactive virtual reality therapies built for clinicians to facilitate adoption in their practice. My little stunt girl broke her elbow last summer and she required intraosseous spin. She was pretty happy that her dad is making cool technology when it came time to pull them out. And for the first time, I was on the other side of my own product, and even though I saw it work so well so many times with other patients, seeing do wonders on my little girl was something different. Join us as we unfold new horizons for pain and anxiety management. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Sandra Saldana, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Alva Health. We're a Yale University technology company backed by the National Science Foundation and the National Institutes of Health, and we are developing the first wearable device for real-time stroke detection. 1 in 4 adults over 25 are living with high risk of stroke due to chronic conditions like hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and atrial fibrillation. Ischemic stroke happens when a clot blocks an artery in the brain, preventing the flow of blood and oxygen. Unlike a heart attack, which is sudden and immediately painful, a stroke is more subtle. It may feel like nothing more than a slight headache, when in reality, brain tissue is rapidly deteriorating. 20% of people will die from their stroke, and of the 80% who survive, most will have to relearn basic functions like how to walk, talk, and tie their shoes. In addition to the human cost, stroke results in over $67 billion in unnecessary healthcare spend each year due to the disability caused by treatment delays. The good news is that these effects can be prevented if patients are treated quickly with FDA-approved therapies such as TPA or mechanical thrombectomy. But because stroke is so difficult to detect today, 90% of people do not get these life-saving therapies. Alva Health's solution automates stroke symptom recognition and emergency response using 2 wristbands containing sensors, a smartphone app, and cloud-based monitoring with machine learning algorithms. We measure the onset of one-sided weakness, which is a defining signature of stroke, also known as hemiparesis. Upon stroke onset, the user is notified, and if there's no response within 2 minutes, they are connected with a trained medical responder who will call 911 and notify the user's emergency contacts. This process ensures that all patients are taken to the hospital quickly and treated within that critical 4.5-hour time window. In early clinical studies, our patented medical device was able to detect moderate to severe strokes with a 97% true positive rate and a low false positive rate of 1 every 21 days. The device will initially be available to the nearly 900,000 people in the US who are diagnosed with a stroke or a transient ischemic attack, also known as a mini stroke, each year, because these patients are known to be in imminent risk of a recurrent event within the first 90 days. And our vision is for this product to eventually become available to a much larger group of people that consists of 1 in 4 Americans who are living with a risk of stroke due to cardiovascular conditions and other chronic conditions. The product will be regulated as a Class 2 de novo medical device. We're in the process of launching our first prospective clinical trial in advance of our registration trial next year so that we can file for FDA clearance at the end of 2025 and go to market in early 2026. We have assembled a powerhouse team with deep expertise building neurotechnologies, clinically validating FDA-approved medical devices, and selling B2B in the medical device industry. In 2021, our team was recognized as the top medical device startup globally out of 1,100 competitors in the MedTech Innovator competition. Our current progress was made possible through strategic partnerships with top institutions, including the Cedars-Sinai Healthcare Accelerator, and we're actively raising a $2 million seed round to accelerate our ongoing clinical studies. Alva Stroke Monitor will drastically improve the lives of millions of patients and their families, and we invite you to join us on our mission to build a future in which all stroke victims will have access to life-saving therapies. Thank you.
As doctors, we often have to give people bad news. So I'm going to start by giving you some bad news. Neuropharma has been one big failure. It's recognized in the literature, and commercially, we've essentially seen the exodus of big pharma from this space. It's not all doom and gloom. Because over the same period of time, we've seen this remarkable rise in neurotech, devices from cochlear implants to deep brain stimulation systems to non-invasive approaches like transcranial electrical stimulation. What's even more exciting is that while there are many neurological conditions in development, as we might expect, there are in fact even more non-neurological conditions. And that's because it turns out that the nervous system itself is a programmable therapeutic interface for every other organ and system in the entire human body. Make no mistake, we are on the cusp of a therapeutic tsunami. The decline of neuropharma is just the waters receding right before the big wave hits. But how do we ride this wave? To answer that, let me tell you a story. In 1975, the Altair 8800 hit the market. The immense excitement of a very small group of people, electrical engineers, who could read the 100-page instruction manual full of binary code and circuit diagrams. Use it. For anyone else, it's just an expensive box. Some of those engineers understood if they built an operating system and an application layer, they could put the power of personal computing into the hands of not thousands, but hundreds of millions and one day billions of people. The rest, as they say, is history. Well, history repeats itself. 2019, Medtronic released the Percept PC neurostimulator with advanced capabilities like simultaneous recording and stimulation. Again, great excitement among a small group of specialists who can use it. And use it they can. They treated thousands of patients with this device and similar devices. But at Machine Medicine, we seek to turn those thousands into hundreds of millions and indeed one day billions. We're doing it by building the equivalent operating system and application layer needed to democratize this technology and shift us from today's paradigm of invasive hardware delivered in a hospital setting to the possibilities of tomorrow with non-invasive hardware delivered in the home setting. Our flagship product is Kelvin, a video-based motor assessment platform for movement disorders. Think of it as the Microsoft Office suite for movement disorder clinics. It consists of mobile applications for at-home or in-clinic motor assessments and an EHR-style web application for secure data storage, review, and analysis. So far, Kelvin has been adopted at 65 clinical sites worldwide through clinical trials and clinical care, including places like Baylor College of Medicine and Mount Sinai. And this is how our business works. We provide patients and clinicians with the software, free of charge, but in exchange for the data. We then take that data and we use it to build AI-enabled, data-driven tools that can address the problems of our enterprise customers, from where we derive our revenue. And what do these AI-enabled, data-driven tools look like? Well, here's just one example. This is Kelvin PD. It performs fully automated motor assessment in Parkinson's disease, from pose estimation to activity recognition to clinical signal extraction, and finally to machine learning-based model inference. We've published numerous papers showing that Kelvin PD works and works extremely well, including one recent in Nature Parkinson's Disease, one of the foremost journals in this space. And Kelvin PD has received breakthrough device designation from the FDA, and we plan to submit for clearance in 2024. But even pre-clearance, this technology is generating significant clinical and commercial traction. In July of this year, we established the Kinematic DBS Consortium between Amsterdam Medical University, Machine Medicine, and Medtronic. Funded by Medtronic, it seeks to integrate the Percept PC neurostimulator output with our own kinematic AI and deliver the combined result to the clinicians through Kelvin Cloud, our EHR-style web application, so that the clinicians don't just have access to this advanced technology, but through the prism of our software, they can clinically utilize it. Our strategy as a company is first to focus on movement disorders, where neurotech is already a well-established therapeutic approach, before moving on to the rest of neurological disease, and finally addressing that even greater bulk of non-neurological disease, which in fact constitutes the major opportunity. I'm lucky to be supported by an extremely talented team of professionals with experience at places like Genomics England, Roche Pharmaceuticals, and major CROs like ICON. To date, we have received $3 million in non-dilutive funding, $3.5 million in dilutive funding. We've established partnerships with major players and well-funded new entrants in this space. And we've doubled our revenues year on year with a forecast of $3 million for this year. So let me finish by asking you a question. When that big wave makes landfall, where will you be? Spectating from the shore or paddling into it with Machine Medicine? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nirdesh Gupta, and I proudly serve as the Managing Director for both the Cedars-Sinai Technology Ventures and the Accelerator program. From the remarkable stories of our startups, it is evident the ones that are chosen for the Accelerator program are making and bringing transformative changes. These companies really go about touching lives of countless patients and physicians. As we stand here to celebrate the pioneering work that our Class 9 is doing, I would like to take a moment to just provide you some update on the vital work that some of our alumni companies have been doing. To start with, Luminaire. Luminaire is a early sepsis detection company, have been part of our most recent cohort, and they have, since graduating the program, had made immense progress in the last 12 months. They have completed a successful pilot at Cedars-Sinai. They have fully integrated and deployed their solution in the emergency department at Cedars-Sinai. It's $2.5 million in funding and have screened 40,000 patients for sepsis. Now take a moment and think about what Luminaire can do, how many more lives they can affect in the coming few years. Venturing a little bit back in the time, Tasso. Tasso has a device for self-collecting blood samples from patients. Tasso has made significant progress and achieved many milestones since they graduated the program 6 years back. They have most recently raised $100 million in venture financing in their combined round B1 and B2. Not to mention, Tasso device has been used to collect more than 100,000 blood samples that have been used for testing and have had made an amazing impact during COVID, and they continue to do so post-COVID. Continuing with the narrative of innovation, let's look a little bit into the future. Syntho, now Syntho. So Syntho is a shining star from the most recent cohort from our accelerator program. And they have won the 2023 SAS Hackathon for life sciences and healthcare. Syntho has a AI-driven synthetic data generating engine that allows for the healthcare data to be used for developing new product, new solutions, new workflows, improving healthcare, improving outcomes, and this is doing it by committing to patient safety and the privacy. Another company, Diligent Robotics, is from our Class 7. The company, innovative company, has a hospital-based robot called Moxie. We have a few in our hospital, and everybody, just loves them. Diligent Robotics has raised $25 million in financing most recently with the goal to deploy 100 Moxies across 25 health systems in the US. Last but not least, a company, Alva Health, has been part of, again, our most recent cohort from Singapore. Amazing founders have a remote patient monitoring device for COPD and asthma, and they have most recently approved the approval, FDA approval, and as well the approval in Singapore, and deploying their technology in various health systems. The groundbreaking innovation that our accelerator program delivers are not merely just the technological marvels. They are truly the lifelines. They're truly the hope bringers. They're truly, the change makers. And they do go about changing and impacting countless, lives. As we really stand at the crossroad of this innovation, technology, and healthcare, our program at Cedars-Sinai really looks to be and wants to be a bridging and enabling platform for improving healthcare and truly driving improving outcomes. With that said, thank you for listening, and I'll let you continue to hear from our exceptional Class 9. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Justin Ayers, the founder and CEO of Equality MD. This was me 6 years ago. I went to my dermatologist's office in Washington, D.C., and had to put on one of those awkward hospital gowns that nobody likes to wear. As the doctor was about to begin the exam, I came out to him as gay. As he stopped, he told me he couldn't complete the exam because he didn't feel comfortable touching my skin. He abruptly left the room, leaving me feeling ignored, ridiculed, and unseen. Sadly, my experience is not uncommon. 1 in 4 LGBTQ Americans experience discrimination in a clinical setting, causing 1 in 5 to never see a doctor in their life. 1 in 6 are denied care, as I was, and 1 in 8 live in states where providers can legally deny care to LGBTQ patients. Systemic discrimination has made the LGBTQ community an invisible and undermeasured patient population. Without critical patient journey data, health systems, payers, and businesses can't make data-driven decisions that could increase patient engagement and improve patient outcomes. Notably, the LGBTQ community represents every other underserved demographic on Earth, from racial minorities to military veterans. Our solution is an inclusive, virtual-first healthcare and data analytics platform. Our network of providers have undergone evidence-based cultural competency training. Our machine learning matching algorithm connects patients with providers based on their unique identities. We transform new patient journey data into actionable insights for health systems, payers, and employers. Let's dive into our product. Jose is a fictional employee at Capital One. He's looking for a therapist who truly gets him. Thankfully, Capital One offers Equality MD as an employee benefit. When completing our intake form, Jose feels both seen and heard because our questions speak to his various identities. From his personalized dashboard, Jose can schedule in-person and virtual appointments, manage his medications, and join community forums. Jose is matched with providers based on his needs and his preferences. He can change providers at any time, and his telehealth visits are all hosted within our app. Each provider is given an equality score based on their level of training and patient feedback. We'll sell our product to health systems, payers, and employers. While we build it, we have a quick path to revenue. We're launching a B2C telehealth solution this quarter. For less than $80 a month, users can have up to 36 health visits a year and access over 1,000 mail-order prescription medications delivered to their door. This is a great option for those without insurance, as well as for those who have insurance but are looking to explore more inclusive options outside their covered networks. 2 years ago, PitchBook declared that the LGBTQ healthcare market was valued at $216 billion and growing. Our serviceable, obtainable market is $8 billion based on our enduring relationship with the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. The National Chamber has 500 corporate sponsors, 53 regional chapters, and 1.4 million members. We'll launch our initial product in Southern California, where the Chamber has 4 regional chapters. There are about 30 million LGBTQ Americans, and that number is growing as younger generations feel more comfortable coming out. By activating our networks in the greater Los Angeles region alone, we'll be able to capture over $4 million in monthly recurring revenue in about 2 years. There are a handful of companies that operate in the LGBTQ healthcare space, either delivering care or educating providers. 2 well-known companies are doing fabulous work for transgender patients, a population that accounts for about 4% of the broader LGBTQ community. Equality MD is the only company that requires evidence-based training and has an AI-informed matching algorithm embedded within a virtual-first telehealth platform that serves the entire LGBTQ community. Moreover, we're the only company that is developing new actionable insights for this underserved patient population. To date, we've raised capital, built an MVP, and secured key go-to-market partners. Soon, we'll launch our B2C product and begin some really exciting pilot programs. By 2025, we'll have our full platform built and ready to sell to SMBs and enterprise clients. We've hit some key milestones in the past 2 years. Our MVP customers gave us invaluable feedback that informed our path forward. We've signed contracts that enable us to go to market this quarter. And what's really cool, we've secured over 30,000 patient interviews and surveys to truly understand our customer. On that point, we're the key team to be able to solve this problem because we have lived the problem that we're solving. While we can't do anything about those terrible hospital gowns, we can change how the LGBTQ community perceives and receives care by empowering patients to become the superheroes of their own healthcare stories. Thank you for your interest in our story. We'll see you afterwards. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Raz Evanor, the head of product marketing at Predicta Med. I would like to start with a problem that many patients encounter, possibly some of you in this room.
My first symptom was at birth, came out with an allergic reaction, had problems until a time I didn't have teeth come in properly, panic attacks at 12. 15 is when I finally started saying, there's something wrong. And I'm thinking and pointing to my gut. And it was from 15 to 35 that the journey continued to try and get an answer to what was happening to me.
There are 50 million Americans and 300 million people worldwide that suffer from immune-related diseases. On average, it can take these patients more than 4 years and at least 4 physicians until they get a correct diagnosis. As a result, these patients not only suffer, but often deteriorate, miss many workdays, and generally, their quality of life is increasingly affected. There is individual as well as collective cost to this problem. More than $100 billion is spent annually in the US alone on diagnosing, managing, and treating these diseases. Predicta Med is changing this paradigm by presenting the first decision support platform that assists primary care providers with early detection and intervention recommendation for immune-related diseases. Predicta.ai, our platform, aggregates data from electronic medical records and other data sources. Using our deep machine learning engine, it analyzes the data, identifies patients with a likelihood of being undiagnosed with autoimmune-related diseases, and present this information to the PCPs. As a result, PCPs can intervene much earlier. Predicta.ai integrates seamlessly into existing EMRs. Here you can see a demonstration of our integration with Epic, which we are currently building in collaboration with one of our design partners. You can see that Predicta.ai suggests that the physician would consider 3 immune-related conditions in a descending order of probability. When a physician clicks on Crohn's, they are presented with the clinical features that contributed the most to the patient being identified. Then, based on the clinical guidelines, they can see the optimal next steps in terms of workup and all the information behind this algorithm's training and its performance. We started focusing on 5 immune-related diseases. In GI and rheumatology, we are now expanding to other diseases as well. In all the mentioned diseases, early detection and treatment result in significantly fewer complications. In summary, early detection aligns the incentives of all different stakeholders by improving patient quality of life, satisfaction, and outcomes. Predicta Med enhances providers' efficiency and treatment effectiveness and lowers the overall cost of treatment. We are humbled and proud to have some of the best in-class health systems as our collaboration partners, including Mayo Clinic, the Cedars-Sinai Accelerator, the Stanford Heart Team, and HOG. Through these partnerships, we received to date access to more than 8 million individual patients' records. And we are able to demonstrate not only the ability to identify these patients prior to initial suspicion, but potentially up to 4 years before the diagnosis was made. We will soon start selling a SaaS license for providers and health systems, and then expand to selling also to pharma, CROs, and payers. And we differentiate ourselves by 4 pillars. We submitted 8 patents, of which to date 3 have been published, as well as our first paper. Our solution is ISO and HIPAA compliant. We have strong domain expertise in AI and in autoimmune diseases and access to huge proprietary and growing data set for continued model training and development. And last but not least, our solution can shorten time to diagnosis through a fully transparent and provider-integrated process. We are a team of 15 comprised of healthcare IT and AI experts located in both the US and in Israel. We are supported by world expert medical advisors who are key opinion leaders. Our funding to date is comprised of VCs, CVCs, strategic angels, and non-dilutive grants. To summarize the company's structure, we established Predicta Med in January 2020, raised $4.5 million to date, and used the funding to conduct clinical studies and submit patents and paper publications. We are now raising additional funding to support our US expansion and to launch our MVP to the market in a few months. Join us in helping millions of patients to get diagnosed sooner and to get treated and managed, hopefully, much better. Thank you.
Hi and welcome. 10 years ago, I had a close family member that struggled with opioids, and they couldn't stop using them no matter how hard they tried. Similarly, there are millions of Americans that are caught in this cycle of opioid addiction that's difficult to escape. So difficult that, according to the latest statistics, 136 Americans per day die of an opioid overdose. 136. Now, fortunately, my loved one was eventually able to stop using opioids and did not become one of the many victims. But nonetheless, it was such a traumatic experience for our family that it inspired me to do something about it. My name is Patrick Schmidle. I'm the founder and CEO of CARI Health. Since our family experienced it firsthand, the fentanyl crisis, the opioid crisis, has expanded exponentially due to the rise of illicit fentanyl. There are few options when someone is addicted to illicit fentanyl. Methadone treatment is one of them. But unfortunately, there are 2 major problems with this otherwise safe and efficacious medication. 1, it takes too long to get to a therapeutic dose. And 2, once you get to a therapeutic dose, you have to go to visit a clinic every day to prove compliance. Yes, every day. This combination causes very high dropout rates. Patients go back to using fentanyl, overdosing, landing in the ER. And mind you, these are all patients that have decided to leave the cycle of addiction to have a better life. But despite all intentions, they keep getting pulled back because it's so difficult to stay in treatment. We're going to get to the solution, I promise. So here's our solution to help patients escape this vicious cycle. We developed this small, wearable, quarter-sized sensor that helps clinicians with their dosing and titration decisions so they can safely titrate patients to their therapeutic dose as quickly as possible. And once they get there, they can then demonstrate compliance remotely without having to go to the clinic every day. Clearly, this is life-changing for methadone patients. It'll increase treatment retention rates and will make sure that they can escape this cycle of fentanyl addiction. Now, since medication dosing and adherence monitoring is such a big issue across many different disease states, you're probably asking yourself the question, well, if your sensor can do this for methadone, can it also do it for other medications? And the answer is absolutely yes. Our platform can be expanded to many other medications. And we're going to show you a brief video to share our exciting vision.
The future of healthcare is delivering personalized medical care in clinical settings and from afar. But fine-tuning dosages and ensuring medication is taken as prescribed is challenging without ongoing testing. Imagine a future where clinicians can prescribe medications and get real-time reporting about medication levels so they can have informed conversations with patients about their ongoing care. CARI Health is developing remote medication monitors that will make this vision a reality. These small wireless sensors are worn on the patient's skin and continuously send data about medication levels to the CARI cloud. Here, data is closely monitored, and notifications are sent to both clinicians and patients if medication levels fall outside of the desired range. With CARI remote medication monitoring, clinicians can provide precision, personalized care and make joint decisions with patients based on facts from anywhere. CARI Health, the future of remote medication monitoring.
You can see why we're so excited about this. Now, we just spent the last 3 months listening to more than 50 clinicians and other stakeholders at Cedars-Sinai to evaluate the clinical demand for medication dosing and adherence monitoring. And based on what we heard from them, we're adding three medication segments to our product pipeline. 1, medications with a narrow therapeutic window. 2, medications that have a very high price tag. And 3, medications that are used to treat chronic conditions. Just to give you a sense for the opportunity, just methadone monitoring alone is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. But this potential increases exponentially when we expand our platform to medications like metformin, a first-line diabetes medication. Because this opportunity has such tremendous potential, we've generated a lot of traction. We're very proud of the angel funds that are on our cap table because they all represent smart angel money. Now, I want to highlight one of the largest investors is a Cove Fund. They only invest in deals where they see the potential return of investment of 30x or more. That's 30. In addition, very happy and very proud to share publicly for the first time that CARI Health has just been awarded more non-dilutive NIH funding, which will support our future product development efforts as well as our pivotal study. To enable personalized dosing and medication monitoring, we've assembled a team of experts in medtech, chemistry, and engineering with a track record of resilience and execution. Personally, I've been part of 7 exits, so together we have the right team to make monitoring of medication levels a reality. With that, please join us in our mission to transform how certain medications are prescribed, dosed, and monitored. Thank you.
So this is what Jimmy Kimmel feels like every night when he's hosting a show. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. You may be wondering how we get here today. Well, it all starts with a key introduction. Hello, my name is. Launched about 800 conversations, which turned into 450 or so applications. From that point on, we reach into the health system and collaborate with key opinion leaders across the health system. From there, we're able to get down to the companies you're hearing from today. But the future is now, and I'm here to announce that applications are now open for Class 10. So let's hear what's new now and next, and we're open for business. We know that you have lots of choices today. Thank you so much for carving out a little bit of time for us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Good afternoon. My name is Yoresh, and I'm the founder and CEO of Test Dynamics. Experienced radiologists misdiagnose evidence of diseases approximately 30% of the time. 5 years ago, my dad was misdiagnosed with lung cancer. He has gone through many series of imaging studies, and I was surprised by the lengthy waiting period to receive the radiology reports. Questioning the radiologist why it takes weeks to get the results, the consistent response was we are overworked, biased, and understaffed, hence the massive backlog. I found this response quite astonishing. Due to my personal concern for my father and as a senior engineer, I was prompt to explore the field of radiology in depth. With AI and machine learning being utilized successfully in several arenas, I attempt to understand why the field of radiology doesn't utilize AI at scale to expedite the imaging backlog and improve accuracy and efficiency. In fact, the increase of AI algorithms over the last decade grew exponentially with more than 500 FDA-approved solutions, majority of them in radiology. Although radiology societies are educating about AI, only 5% of hospitals have adopted AI algorithms into their daily workflow. For a hospital system to integrate a specific AI solution requires a prolonged selection process, significant IT commitment, security reviews, legal agreements, integrations, and more. It becomes impossible for a hospital system to connect with multiple algorithms seamlessly. This is what drove me to launch Test Dynamics, with a personal dedication and a mission to overcome the barriers and finally connect multiple algorithms with healthcare providers via a single integrated platform. Satori platform, powered by Test Dynamics, solves these problems and allows implementation of AI at scale. We designed Satori to be a platform from the get-go. We are not providing our AI solutions, which means we can be unbiased, open, vendor-agnostic, highly accessible, and scalable. Now I want to show you a quick demo of our Satori notification app, which we call it Snap. Radiologists log into the work list and select a patient study of a brain CT. Our notification is on the upper left, and it turns purple, which means that we have something to show you from AI results. You can analyze the case as a radiologist, or you can go to our panel, and you can review the results, which is the final report from an AI solution. It's very unobtrusive and it's very unobtrusive and it's complementary to existing workflow. Satori Web is our AI store, which allows users to discover different AIs, review clinical applications and technical information about each AI, and deploy it within a click. Administration and IT teams can maintain the AI performance and insights data and managing AI implementation and improvement over time. Test Dynamics established officially in Q4 2021 and raised $3 million seed round backed by supportive angels and VCs. The Satori platform officially announced during RCE.ai 2022, the biggest radiology annual conference, following an intensive collaboration with our radiologist advisors. We collaborate with over hundreds of radiologists worldwide, which allows us to understand the end users and build the best intuitive user interface that physicians would love to use and adopt. We kicked off our first pilot project with major academic institutions in the US, while we are starting 2 more pilots with an additional 2 healthcare systems. Test Dynamics has more than 10 health systems waiting to deploy our platform, and we're ready to do it soon. A quick leap to the future, our Satori platform will be commercially available in Q4 this year, aiming to land our first customer by then. In 2024, we are planning to raise our Series A and scale and grow globally. Our vision for the future is going beyond radiology with this platform, most likely into all clinical specialties, and reduce the problem with implementation and integrations. Our team includes managerial, technical, and with healthcare expertise across US and Netherlands, in Europe. Our advisory board includes radiologists, IT, and business experts. Our platform was designed by radiologists for radiologists. AI is the solution for the extreme workload of radiologists to modernize patient care and improve accuracy. Integrating tens, if not hundreds, of AI solutions independently is impossible. The Satori platform solved this impossible maze. I am dedicating the Satori platform in memory of my father, who passed away recently, and the hundreds of thousands of patients who will benefit. And as an Israeli, I'm broken by a massacre of innocent Israelis by Hamas terrorists. My heart is with the families of those fallen, and I pray for the well-being of these injured and the IDF soldiers who are going into a battle. We all stand with Israel. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hi everyone, my name is Casper Baudet, and I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer at Acorai. So Acorai is a combination of 3 words: acoustic, core, and AI. We listen to your heart with AI, and we are developing the new standard in heart failure monitoring. So heart failure is a massive global disease area. It's impacting more than 60 million patients worldwide. And of these patients, 80% are diagnosed too late. Not only that, as they're hospitalized, monitored, and managed, 45% of these patients are still unstable at discharge. This leads to 25% of patients being readmitted within 30 days. So why is that? Well, we do know that by monitoring the intracardiac pressures, namely the blood pressures inside of the heart's chambers, you can adequately balance these patients. Unfortunately, all current solutions are invasive, so they require surgery, leading that to less than 10% of patients requiring the care that they need. This is where we come into play. Acorai has developed the world's first handheld, scalable, and non-invasive intracardiac pressure monitoring solution. This results in fewer treatment complications, reduced length of stay and direct costs, and reduced readmissions, and in the end, improving the lives of the 60 million patients worldwide. I'll now show you a demonstration video of how it works.
The Acorai heart monitor is the only device to employ ICPM using technology that is completely non-invasive. Just place the device on the patient's chest for 2 minutes while the SAVE sensor system records the seismic, acoustic, visual, and electric waves. Our machine learning model analyzes the data to determine intracardiac pressures with better accuracy than standard of care tools. Acorai, the new standard in heart failure management.
So by combining the data from the SAVE sensor system with our proprietary machine learning models, we're able to absolutely estimate the intracardiac pressures. This is being clinically validated in a first study in Sweden with 400 patients, and it's resulted in an FDA breakthrough device designation earlier this year. We're targeting a $10 billion market globally, and this is across 3 different segments. Actually, we're targeting the inpatient use case, where we want to get this device into the hands of cardiologists who knows how to use the intracardiac pressure. We also see the use in outpatient facilities and at-home hospital at-home programs, as well as for remote use, getting this into the patient's homes. Since our inception in 2019, we've developed the hardware, we've done our first pilot study, and we received the FDA breakthrough device designation. We raised $4 million in private funding, and we received more than $2 million in grants. We just kicked off our 1,200-patient global study with sites across Europe, US, and Canada. And as this finishes in Q2 next year, we're targeting FDA approval Q1 25, shortly followed by CE marking for European markets. We're a co-founding team of Philip, Jacob, and me, Casper. We have surrounded ourselves with experienced professionals having brought similar devices to market. We're very happy to be here and very thankful for the Cedars team for having us in the accelerator, and look forward to speaking to you all after. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amaima Ahmed. I am the co-founder and CEO of 52 North. However, today I'd like to introduce you to somebody else. This is Susan. Like the 1 million other patients receiving chemotherapy across the US every year, her physician told her very clearly on her very first appointment, whenever you get a fever or you feel generally unwell, you must go straight into the emergency department. Why? Because chemotherapy suppresses the immune system, and this can leave infection-fighting neutrophil levels dangerously low, making patients like Susan highly susceptible to what is known as the most fatal side effect of chemotherapy treatment, a condition called neutropenic sepsis. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is no way of identifying a patient who is at risk outside of the hospital. So what this means is that every single time one of these 1 million patients begins to feel unwell, they go straight into the ER, They receive strong antibiotics and undergo treatment, all just in case they have neutropenic sepsis. However, 1 in 2 patients is subsequently found to have been fine, and they didn't need to come in the first place. That's 250,000 ER visits being made every year in the US, completely unnecessarily. Now, this is the problem that we saw at 52 North, and this is why we developed NutriCheck. NutriCheck is a finger prick blood test and app that a patient can use at home. It's very portable, and the device is so small that it can fit inside your handbag, or indeed inside a pocket. The device measures 2 key things, neutrophils and a sepsis marker, which are the 2 key pieces of information that a physician needs to understand to see if a patient is actually at risk of the condition or indeed not at risk. We've built NutriCheck with over 100 patients and physicians, and the following video will show how the device and app operate. So a patient would use the lancet provided in the toolkit to prick their finger. When they do this, they would place their blood sample into the well on the device, and then they would turn the dial around the top and leave this in place for 1 minute. Now, the simple movement of the dial shown here is actually releasing all of the buffers required to run the first test. They then turn the dial 1 more time, leave it for 10 minutes, and they can either read the result manually or automatically by taking a photograph of the device using the NutriCheck app. So in the new pathway, when a patient feels unwell, they would use NutriCheck, and if they were low risk, they could actually stay at home. And if they were high risk, they could be prioritized for early antibiotics and go straight to the ER. Oncologists across the UK and the US and patients across both of these markets are describing NutriCheck as a game changer. Why? Because NutriCheck is a unique example of a technology which provides benefits across the board to all stakeholders. Not only could we prevent 250,000 unnecessary ER visits and save thousands of lives, we could also deliver huge efficiency savings to healthcare providers and to insurers. Our 2 key markets are Europe and the US, together worth $3 billion, and we expect to receive regulatory approvals for both markets in 2025. We've gained strong traction across both of these markets, including with Cedars-Sinai Hospital and Texas Medical Center, where we are on both of their accelerator programs. We're also working closely with pharma, where there is a huge use case for NutriCheck to be used to support remote patient monitoring in clinical trials. We've hit many milestones since we started our journey 5 years ago, and we're now raising a seed round of between $5 and $6 million to enable us to get to our first sales across the US and Europe. I'm delighted to say that we have a powerhouse of a team from across some of the world's top universities, from across some of the world's top organizations, including academia, industry, and healthcare. And we are all together in one mission to deliver excellence to patients through products like NutriCheck, so that people living with cancer, like Susan, can receive safer and better care, and to give them back some peace of mind. Because living with cancer is hard enough without having to worry about the side effects of treatment. Thank you so much for your time today. Please do connect with us and follow our journey. And please do join us in reinventing the healthcare journey for cancer patients across the world. Thank you very much.
Everyone. We hope that you have enjoyed hearing from our Class 9 companies. The point of the Accelerator program is throughout their time with us over the 3 months that they get connected and get mentorship from world-class clinicians and operational leaders and in a world-class institution. So That's what you saw today, this culmination of their 3 months and their hard work. So I really, really hope that you enjoyed the show. If you do want to get connected with them, they will be here, if you're here in person, at our reception, and their contact information can be found on our website. So before we wrap, I do want to give very special thanks to some very important people, starting with our CEO, Tom Prisolak, for allowing innovation like this to take place at Cedars-Sinai. It is pretty special. To our CFO, David Wrigley, for his unwavering support to our program. To the entire technology ventures team, and some are here today, and our dedicated R&D team, and our mentors, and our clinicians, who also I'm so happy to see today. Thank you so much for your support. We just can't have the program without you. And then to my team, Janie Sue, Michael Adame, Jeremy Roseman, Howard Reese, Stace Steves, and Rithik, thank you for not only supporting me over the last 3 months, but our companies and the program. And my wonderful Class 9 associates. I know how much work you have put in with these companies. I know how much you've supported them. So to Mel, Adil, Cyrus, Laura, Jinsol, Michael Johns, London Kim, thank you so much. I can't wait to watch you all as you go on and grow in your careers. So again, thank you for being here today. I'm honored to be part of such an important program. And for those of you here again today, please join us for a reception. And for those of you online, again, if you need their contact information, it can be found on our website. So that's a wrap for Class 9.